This is a huge treat. Okay, The Who is one of my absolute favorite bands. They're a band from Mongolia who combine traditional throat singing with contemporary rock styles, and they are awesome. We're going to check it out. This is their new song, Sell the World.
I can't tell when verses start or end. Go for it.
This is really a graphic song.
Yes, it is.
One of the things that I really liked in there, he said something about like, you use up all the water until you cherish salt water, And this song actually reminds me a lot of a Ren song that we just reacted to. Very similar theme, but man, like the imagery is so stark. You have this like normal person, that's the person we're supposed to relate with, going in, and it's just these people who are beastly, like monstrous almost, and they're like, all right, we're gonna start like selling organs. We're like, we ran out of things that we can sell outside, so now we can start selling human body parts.
That's interesting. I think that I took that to mean like imagining that was Mother Earth, because that's why there were like the leaves and the plants all over her organs.
I like that.
And it's like, okay, here are the lungs of Earth, and they were all covered in leaves.
Right.
We're taking the Earth and we're destroying it for money. Here, who wants the lungs? Sweet, give me the money. Oh, you need a scarf? Here, have some intestines. Right? And taking the life of the Earth and destroying it right in front of the normal person's eyes for the search of money.
Yeah, I did notice the leaves on the... No, I like that a lot, because then it's like, it's not just a separate thing, because we always try to be like, yeah, like I'm me, and here's the boundaries of my personhood, and then here's your boundaries of you, and here's the boundaries of the trees and the rocks. But the thing is, like, we're all intertwined in some kind of way. And when we destroy the Earth, we're destroying ourselves in a way, Now, there are things like we use parts of the Earth, right? And we do, like, destroy parts of our bodies for surgery and stuff to, like, improve. And so there maybe is a balance there of both cultivation as well as, like, preservation, conservation, right? But when it's all just only driven, like, unbalanced, only driven for profit with no other considerations, that I think can very much become a problem.
Yeah.
Not that profit itself is bad, but like when we don't consider more things than profit, that can be bad.
Yeah, I saw this, and as I was watching it, the thought that was going through my mind is, this looks like a PETA video, but for Earth. That's how I saw it.
He just totally
keeps
bashed
getting
on.
more and more visceral.
I just totally bashed on YOLO right there.
Yeah, yeah. Totally bashed on YOLO.
Yeah, but I mean, it makes sense, right? Like if we're only thinking like, quick, burn it out, hot and fast, get it done, and we like totally forget the fact that we have kids and like 8 billion other people around that are here too.
Yeah, it goes back to the old saying that society flourishes when men plant trees whose shade they will never be able to sit in. And how a lot of society right now, it seems to be that those in charge and those living in it are doing a lot of what they can. It's like, hey, let's poke a hole in this boat and then take everything from the boat so it's mine and jump out of it. But I got the stuff now, even though the boat is gone. Like, there's a lot of short-sighted decisions taking place in politics and in business in ways that it's a lot like what Renz was talking about with his song that we just reacted to, where it's people for the sake of money giving up everything that matters in the long term. In the last song we listened to, it was for the search of truth, and this one it's more for the benefit of the children and our descendants.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like sharing the earth with like everybody else. Like, yes, it is good to better your life. I think that is good. I try to better my life. I try to better my kids' lives. Well, like, if we just destroy everybody and we don't balance like the sense of community with like the sense of personal want, then yes, we're all going to be these like little islands of people that eat each other for the next gold coin.
Well, yeah, and like the amount of money that is made off of war is I think a depiction that has made a lot of sense in the context of this last little bit, where it's like the heart was crushed and there was gold
nuggets, yeah,
and that everyone just lost sight of the fact that something just died there for that gold nugget to exist, and just went nuts trying to grab the gold nuggets out of all of the hearts around them.
Like whatever the expense is, yeah, just get the thing.
There aren't people out there who make a lot of money off of war and like this exactly,
or organ stealing too. Actually, that's the thing.
That is a thing. Yeah.
Man, even after the eyeballs are ripped from the head, they're still just chasing the gold.
Mm-hmm. And in the end, it shows that the one auctioning off all of the parts was the devil, and the world was destroyed, and every person who was involved in that auction was lost.
Yeah, I think it's just it's good to be reminded of this stuff, and it's good to like every day we make decisions, like a whole bunch of decisions, and as we make our decisions, it's good to weigh those decisions, like what are the benefits that we get and what are the costs, and like not just what are the benefits and costs to me as an individual, but what are the benefits and costs to my children and to your children and to like nature and to the world and to this entire society, right? And I think that as we do that and we make sure that we consider things like compassion and like we consider the fact that we're all in this together and all like kind of intertwined in a way, and we're all part of this one life, if you will, that it makes a big difference, because we really, like it showed in here, we harm ourselves when we don't take into account like our relationships with the world.
Yeah. I thought one thing that was interesting is it's saying where it mentioned rebirth a couple of times. You're acting as if you're not going to be reborn. And if you take the reborn out of that and start adding it into like a more understandable context for Western audiences, it's the afterlife, right? You're living as if there's going to be no punishment for you for when you die. That this is all there is. And if you're acting like this world is all there is, and you don't have to consider the people after you, you don't have to consider the people before you, you don't have to consider an afterlife, you don't have to consider your own self being reborn into this world again, then you can take actions like selling the world for profit and destroying the future for the now. And it's something that I see continuing to grow more and more. And it almost feels like if you take and do not create a moral system that it doesn't have to be shared by everyone, but an overarching moral system, and build your society on moral principles, then this is going to be the outcome. And I wonder if that's because human nature is to drive towards your own benefit as much as you can. It's a competitive nature just always. Or if that is... No, I think that is something that is human nature.
Yeah, but I don't know because, and yes, I agree. Like having some sort of like value system is really important, right? And like a moral value system because, and you look at that, and that's like you have Christianity and you have Buddhism, and like here we talk about rebirth, which is a very like Buddhist type of thing. You have like tribes in Africa with their systems of moral values. You have like everywhere there are these systems of moral value. And as we change and kind of move from country to country and like meet new people and get new science and all these things, like that's really good. And we should like have an open mind of how to change our value systems. One thing I tell my kids about their value system is I tell them like, look, I'm going to give you my value system. Okay. As you grow up, you're going to learn my value system, and that's how we're going to live. And when you become an adult, you may want to change your value system. You may want to. But when you do it slowly and carefully. Because there can be huge ramifications from changing things in your value system. If you just say like, oh, well, I'm going to toss out my dad's value system and kind of start from zero and find my way, you can run into a lot of problems that are problems for you as well as problems for the world. So I'm just going to pass that same advice. You can change your value system. But when you do it slowly and do it carefully. And keep in mind, the whole world, right? We're all in here together. So this is great stuff. Let's actually, you guys should check out, if you're down for some somewhat different music from this, check out our video that we did from Ren, where he talks about this same kind of thing in a different kind of way. And these two songs go so perfectly together.
They go very well together.
Yeah. So anyway.
That song is The Money Game, Part 3.
Yeah. So there'll be a link for that here. Check it out. Go ahead and subscribe. If you love The Who as well, let me know in the comments what your favorite song is. I've held off on a few of the songs because I was thinking we'd react to them on here, but I think I'm just going to dive in. Anyway, I love The Wolf Totem a lot. UV is pretty good too. Anyway, let us know what you think, and we'll catch you on the next one.